Hey everybody, this is Michael Phoenix Art with Gigs and Rigs, and we are in the lab here at Stringwise Repair Company with my friend Ben Armstrong, and we are going to take a look at some of the projects he's got going on up here.
Yeah, so this right here is just a run-of-the-mill Squire PJ. It's Mike Bogan's. And all I'm doing to this is he's making it BEAD instead of EADG. So what that requires is probably modifying this saddle right here in order to get the intonation correct, because they want to bottom out for a B before they actually intonate.
Right.
And making a new nut.
So you got to custom make a nut
Yeah,
that will
so
fit that.
This is the original nut here. Obviously, these slots are no longer big enough to fit a B and E, so you wind up having to. So I start with this right here. This is just a bone blank, just a bovine bone. This happens to be bleached. You can also get it unbleached. Go from there, and then you rough it in like that. Make sure the darn thing fits, and eventually it winds up looking like that. But these can be the pucker factor kicks in with these sometimes, because I probably have 45 minutes into this right here.
Wow.
And once you start cutting your string grooves, if you go one stroke too much with the file, that's it.
It's over.
You're making a new
A
nut.
brand new blank.
Yep. There's no way to undo it.
So it's very tedious and time consuming.
It is. I mean, you got to be so focused. You can't have anything on the TV. You can't just. This is all you're doing. You know.
Hyper focused on this.
And I have redone, not so much anymore because I'm a lot more practiced than I used to be. But I've redone a number of them, and it's very frustrating. So yeah, that's that. This is getting flat wounds. I took the pick guard off, and just to see, because I knew it probably had the mini pots, being a Squire, and I was going to replace it for Mike, just so for longevity's sake.
Did you do any kind of like aluminum or copper backing?
Yeah, so
there?
I shielded everything. It just had shielding paint in it before, which I don't really trust. But it looked like somebody just violently shoved just a wad of wire in there.
All the electronics were just jammed in there.
Yeah, like there was each whip I had like 8 inches of spare that I just cut off.
Well, and this is stock, right?
Yeah, it's stock. It's surprising because usually they're very careful about not using too much wire, but apparently not with this one. So that all got rewired.
And he's using this for a specific project?
Yeah, so he's going to be using that for a new iteration of just thrown together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone, I don't think I've ever heard anyone play a bass from B to...
Yeah, it's not terribly common, but after he said he wanted to do that, I saw quite a few references of it online.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played bass for 15 years. If there's any one string that I would get rid of, it'd be the G. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your money on a bass gets made from the seventh fret to the knot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. So, I started doing this back in 2018. I bought that G&L bass off of eBay, and the guy never slacked the truss rod before it came to me. So
it was kind of
yeah, it
wonky.
got to me, and I tuned it up to pitch, and it was buzzing on all the frets. And I really wanted to play it that night. And everything anybody had ever told me was, no matter what, don't ever touch the truss rod. Don't do it. It was like a big no, right?
Right.
I mean, that was like what all the old timers said.
Right. Don't mess with it.
But I really wanted to play it that night. So I was like, all right, well, Dr. Google can fix anything. So I went on, and it doesn't look too hard as long as I don't overdo it. I ended up cutting radius gauges out of I printed them out on my computer and then transferred them onto cardboard so I could set my saddle heights and everything like that. And I wound up getting a few rudimentary tools, and
So you started just because you needed to
I had to. Right.
fix what
Yeah.
you had.
And before you know it, all my buddies are saying, "Well, can you set mine up? Can you set mine up? Can you set mine up?" And then here we are.
And I'm one of them buddies, by the way.
You are actually. I was thinking about that the other day.
I think 4 out of 5 of my guitars you've.
Yeah, it came. That PRS I think was my favorite.
Yes.
That was a fun one.
We'll have to maybe do a display on that one or something.
Yeah, so that's how I got started. I mean, it's grown into certainly more than I would ever thought.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you're always posting good pictures. I'm always impressed at some of the cool stuff that comes through here.
Yeah, and I've stopped posting some of the more mundane everyday stuff. I just try to post the more out of the ordinary stuff. This is
But you get a lot of legacy stuff in here too, right? Like
man, I get
people are bringing you stuff that their grandfather had that they want.
Which you'll see some legacy stuff here. This is a cool piece. Not real.
This is this a
This is a
Gibson?
Gibson.
It's a Gibson.
I'll tell you, they're getting darn good. Even right down to they've started to learn that the acorn. It's not on a Gibson. It's not an Allen wrench truss rod. It's the acorn nut.
Yep.
They've even got slide of that. And I'm not the arbiter of ethics and morality and IP and stuff like that. But,
Sure.
I mean, let's be honest. Some of the stuff coming out of Gibson and Epiphone even is junk.
Yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately,
it varies.
it's wildly. Yeah.
It varies, and I'm not sure why that is these days. It used to be very, very standard that, Epiphone was like the step down affordable version of Gibson, and Gibson was, obviously the more higher end stuff. And then Epiphone started to really make some very good stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why or how the lines blur sometimes, but also I see a lot of Gibsons that actually sound, look, and feel amazing.
Yeah. So I bet I've done close to 10 Gibsons at this point. And you get them. I mean, this thing was probably $250, something like that. And you got to do the fret nibs. This one's actually pretty good. A lot of times you gotta level and recrown, but
because I mean, there's clearly places where like they are not paying attention to
detail. and they lack on the hardware, the tuners, and the pickup. If you want a decent, good tuning stability and a good sounding guitar, those are just a given. You're going to replace them. But as far as fit and finish, usually pretty good. I always tell everybody, if you buy one, I mean, you put $100 into it from a guy like me, with a good setup and everything like that. You got a really nice playing guitar. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, we talked before about how at the end of the day, the first thing you're dealing with is wood.
Yeah.
Right? You got to have a good cut of wood. And if the wood is cut well, electronics are replaceable.
Right.
Everything else is able to be adjusted, tuned, or molded in some way.
Provided there's not any structural things or the truss rod isn't damaged.
Sure.
You can do a lot with seemingly a little.
Right.
Yeah, so this is cool. This is a Ryan Beecrafts. He just brought it over for a setup along with a LP Gibson. He actually got this for free. He ordered it and then it wasn't shipping, so he canceled it. Got his money back.
And then it came anyways?
It came anyways.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. So he's pretty happy. So I'm going to just a quick setup. It feels pretty good. I mean,
it's a very interesting looking SG because it has a lot of...
Feel how light it is.
Oh, it's not that heavy at all. But it has the way that it's set up with the dog ear P90 is a lot more like I can't remember what guitar it is now, but it's not a SG body. It's set up like a vintage Gibson with one dog ear pickup. I think it's called like the Gibson 1 or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
What strikes me is how close that is to the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, it's way too close to the bridge.
But I mean, there again, you fill a couple holes and you
Slide
modify the
her
pick
out.
guard and you slide
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
find the sweet spot there, and so that's pretty cool.
That's doable.
I mean, I'm perfectly okay with the Chipson thing. The only time I'm not okay is if somebody tries to sell it under false pretenses.
All right, absolutely.
That's not cool.
Now,
But
now other than like the structural strangeness of like seeing something like the pickup way too close to the truss, is there anything that you notice right away that lets you know it's a Chipson and not a Gibson?
the inlay
The inlay.
every time.
Really?
They're not quite there yet.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so when you see one and someone's like, "Hey, this is my Gibson, my grandfather handed down to my dad," and then you see it and you're like, "Chipson."
Yeah,
You
can
can- 'cause your
a lot of
eyes-
times just grabbing the neck too. You can kind of, I don't know. It's just it doesn't feel like a Gibson. you know?
Yeah. Okay, so there's feel, but there's also you can tell just by seeing some of the differences.
The
in it.
inlay is usually a dead giveaway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this thing is really cool here. So this is he's a drummer for Still Kicking, name's Dave Wheeler. Mm-hmm. This was his grandfather's guitar. His grandfather was playing it. I believe this, as the story goes, was playing it when he dropped out of a heart attack.
Wow.
This is a 1952 Harmony,
Wow, that is
blonde arch
beautiful.
top, and it was a lot of what I do is just stopping degradation. Mm-hmm. So I get a lot of these legacy instruments that have been just sitting under beds or just roached out, you know. Mm-hmm. And it'd be a crying shame to refinish this or really take it anywhere, right? So I mean, the binding was all separating, you know, and I don't try to make it pretty back up, you know what I mean? Because that's just part of its story, right?
Yeah, it's part of the wear and tear of it.
So, you know, I'll inject glue in here and clamp it, and you know, there's a few finish cracks here and there. It was missing a screw, you know, just stupid stuff like that. But the tuners had completely degraded. It was the
rubber gaskets, yeah.
No, the tuning keys themselves.
Oh,
It was like the cellulose or whatever it is,
yep.
and it was just post sticking
Yeah.
out. So I was gonna just put new pegs on it, but then I got thinking, if anybody ever wants to play this, those tuners suck.
They're not going to work.
No truss rod.
Yeah, this thing is just solid wood. And this is well built, like full hollow body. It's built like a violin. I can see like the bridging inside of it and stuff. Man, this is
And it's just so swampy. I mean, it's just
yeah.
I mean, it's just got that like Delta blues kind of.
Yeah, well, that is beautiful. This is a really nice legacy piece.
It's cool. It's really cool, and the fact I've still has all the
Original stuff with it.
original. Yeah, it's just, and you'd be surprised how many I do. There was a Gretsch.
Oh, it's got a nice little.
I put that in there.
Oh, you put that in there?
Yeah, I don't. So
A
I don't
humidifier?
let any acoustic instrument go without a sound hole humidor.
That's great.
It never does. Matter of fact, I have a bunch of soft cases behind there too. I buy electric soft cases and acoustic soft cases because nothing leaves unless it's in a case.
Yeah, that's great.
And there's no charge for it. I pay. They're not great cases. You know what I mean? But
Right, it's just
I-
something to help protect
I
it.
can't let stuff go. If somebody hands me a guitar like this, I can't then hand them a guitar. I just can't do it. So, yeah, this thing is. I was really, really happy with the way that turned out.
It's beautiful. The wood grain is really beautiful, and it's amazing that it still sounds so
It's amazing
good.
it's still there.
Yeah.
Because Harmony, in no way, form, or fashion, was a Fender or Gibson.
No.
These were throwaway guitars.
Yeah.
They really were at the time. They're sought after now because they exist.
If you can find a good one, but a lot of them were
Just
like
spec.
they were better for playing slide guitar than using your fingers.
So, just to illustrate the fact that I don't just do guitars, this is the same fellow this one says fiddle. And this was really, really roached. Now, this one didn't have a case either. It was just handed to me. So I bought the case, everything like that.
Oh, wow.
This thing is really, really cool.
Wow, what a nice piece.
It's a Stradivarius.
That is beautiful.
So this one, there was a piece of mechanics wire holding the tailpiece on. I got a new fine tuners. There was no bridge. Bridge post was out of it. All this surface cracking I repaired so that could stop. But it's interesting because, you know, that tuning key right there was whittled out of, you know, that was homemade, right? You know,
yeah.
This one here was snapped in half, and the other piece wasn't there. So I took a piece of pine, glued it in there, and then took rosewood powder and mixed it with clear wood glue and skimmed it and then sanded it. It turned out pretty cool.
It looks amazing for such an old piece.
Yeah, I figure, I mean, you got to really know your stuff to date them. There was like 4 eras of Streds, and this is probably late 30s.
Well, this is just even beautiful to hold.
And I don't know.
I love all the natural patina on it.
Me too.
I guarantee there's so many stories, especially with the whittled.
It's so nice.
The whittled tuning.
I know.
The tuning post is really amazing.
So
did you have to replace the bridge, or was this still?
Yeah. So that didn't even exist.
Okay, so it didn't even have a bridge on it.
No. It's, you know, sometimes I get things in here that, you know, you just kind of feel. It's Charlie Trudell's 70s Telecaster that followed him around to every single bar in the Tri-County and up to Ontario playing with Bobby Bear. And, you know, I got that in there for the last fret dress. I mean, that was it. There's no more room on them frets, you know. But you can just feel, they have their own soul.
Yeah,
they really do. It's like
the energy and like the stories that have been behind those.
So my dear friend John Finan, he came up with actually an epiphany, in my opinion. Guitars are the only pieces of art that you make art with. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Painters don't buy beautiful easels.
Nope, they just buy working easels.
Right, or beautiful paintbrushes, or you know, not only guitars, but you know, any sort of instrument. You know?
Yeah.
And I thought that was profound. So yeah, this next one is very special. So Charlie Trudell's brother Spike. This is the bass that followed him around. Spike was a bass player with his brother Charlie for many years, still is and still kicking. It's a 1971.
I've seen him play this one already.
Yep, 71 Gibson EBO. He bought it brand new from Baker's Jewelry Store in Camden, New York. This is, I mean, one of a kind. With the nitrocellulose cracking, buckle rash. I mean, his buckle did every bit of that. You could see how the covers, the old covers, how they used to warp like that. If I was to take that off without immediately pinning, you know, screwing it to another piece of wood,
it wouldn't fit back in.
It would fold right up. But the mute,
yeah.
Everybody always got rid of the mute and the rest. I mean, you hardly ever see him with both.
Yeah, I've seen him play this, and it actually still sounds so good.
He doesn't take this one out anymore. He has the modern version of it.
Oh, he's got a remake.
Yep. And his remake is the EB3, so it has the bridge pickup.
Last time I saw you guys playing, he had this one.
Oh, really?
You had just done some work to it or something?
No, that was Eddie Rozier.
Oh, that was Eddie.
Yeah, that was the bass player from Just Thrown Together.
Yeah, Just Thrown Together.
So that was the EBO as well.
Okay.
That was really when I started to gain my. People started to really look at me differently.
Right.
Doing this was that when I had to actually peel the fretboard off because I had a broken truss rod.
Yeah, you did a lot of work.
Actually, you know what? The truss rod is right here. That bent up one right there. It was so rusted in, and I mean, I had to yank it out of there. But that was really when people kind of took notice.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a beautiful piece that he's got now that's playable
Yeah,
again.
right.
Yeah.
It sat under his bed and pillowcase for many, many years.
And so now I know you do a lot of work. You do all kinds of work on all kinds of the instruments and stuff. And I know we talked one time about getting intonation, and I think you have like a magic machine or something that you use.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I wanted to see this.
Takes a second to heat up.
So this is pretty wild.
Yeah, so this is a Con Strobo tune. This is probably early 60s.
Wow.
And
it just looks like magic, like it's out of a Harry Potter film or something.
yeah, these are. So I was looking for a strobe tuner. Of course, you got Peterson. I mean, there's the whole gamut of strobe tuners. But I wanted a bench tuner. I didn't want a pedal tuner. I wanted something I could sit on the bench. So I got looking into the older vintage ones, and these normally go for $700-800, and found one on eBay for 125 by it now. People they're like, we don't know what this is. We don't know what this does.
Wow.
We don't know if it works. I was
Great
like, well,
find.
I'll take a chance. And I plugged it in, and here we are.
It works. It worked instantly as soon as you bought it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Once I found the old owner's manual for it and figured out how to do it. Yeah, so it's in calibrate mode now. So what this does is our electrical grid is 60 cycle, right? Somehow this thing compares the 60 cycle that it's getting from the wall outlet against somehow the frequency of your note.
Okay.
Somehow, and I don't know all the finer details of it, but
right.
That's how it works off of.
It's pure magic.
It is. Yeah, there's magic in there.
Yeah, there's just magic.
But I've modified it. Originally, these were meant to be for guys that went around tuning pianos.
Right.
So it has all the flats and sharps on there,
and so when you're done with the setup, this is what you're using to tune all the guitars through.
Yeah. Yep. And then I adjust the saddles accordingly.
Yeah.
It's
that's beautiful.
Very accurate, and it's easy. Just at a glance, just see it instead of having to.
It's just something you just don't see
No,
on probably many other workbenches. I've received multiple guitars from you, and they just sound beautiful harmonically. Like if you go through them, they're perfect. I was like, I think Ben has a magic wand or something. And then when you mentioned that, like, you had this thing, I was like, I could not wait to see it. Like, and now that I've seen it,
it's awesome.
It's even more mysterious to me than I thought it was.
Me too. So a lot of the thing with the intonation too is the pesky G string.
Oh yeah, always.
Right. It's always sour a little bit. So you cannot just solely intonate it to the 12th fret. You can't.
Right.
So I'll intonate it close to the 12th fret and then fret on the 2nd fret, an A, and see how close that is. Usually that's way sharp. So I'll split the difference between the 12th and the 2nd. And that'll get you pretty close.
Awesome.
Yeah, this thing is, I just fell into a great deal on it.
And I always see you posting like really awesome like project videos and stuff, and I really just honestly, if you're scrolling and you're a gearhead like we are, it's like really great to just be able to see like what somebody's doing. I mean, there's lots of YouTube videos. I don't even see people posting even some of the stuff that you do, like reshielding in the way that you do. So I feel like you have your own custom way of fixing these guitars and putting life into them and reinvigorating the soul, especially some of these older instruments. And I see you now, you do a lot of these old family relics.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure people are super excited when they get them.
It's an honor that I'm trusted with stuff like this.
Right.
I mean, it's not lost on me ever how lucky I am to be graced,
Right.
even if it's just for a few days with
Right.
some of these instruments. They're just, it's life changing sometimes. It really is.
And not only do you do that, you also do electronics too.
Yeah, I dabble in a little bit of that stuff. Anything that's a heavy lift, I'll send to
Right.
Mark Metot.
But anything, but you have enough knowledge that I mean,
Yeah,
I've
like
seen you work on most
I
of
just
this
changed
stuff.
the capacitors in that DeVille. That one's mine. It's I just peck away at it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, a solid hobby or born out of necessity has now turned into a full on business. Stringwise
Yeah.
Repair Company is now a name that people know. I've said, hey, my friend Ben Armstrong does this work, and they're like, oh, you mean the guy from Stringwise?
Yeah.
So like the name is now out there, and I think that's great. Your humble beginnings, your personal soul that you put into some of these things. I'm the kind of person that like you could go anywhere and give your instruments to, but I feel like giving my instrument to you, like there's this love and this care and this really desire to bring something out of it that is just I don't think you could get from everybody at every shop.
That's not by design.
I mean, I gave you my PRS that I hated.
That was so awesome.
And I challenged you, and you said, I will make you love this guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't think you can do it because I hate the guitar. And now it's one of my favorite ones to play. I play slide on it all the time.
You were ready to just give it its last rites.
Yeah, it was about to go in the burn pile. Yeah. And so now it's on my rack of my favorite five. So.
Yeah, I mean, it broke my heart that it was just sitting there in the corner. What is that? What's the story on that?
Yeah. No, and you did it. You did a fantastic job. And as always, I like how somehow you always manage to put some kind of amazing twist into it that makes it kind of Ben stamped, even though it's not. And like on the PRS, it had that over the truss rod cover, it had that carved out phoenix.
Yep.
And I was just like, wow, what a cherry on top. And it had all that gold hardware that I always wanted on it. It's a beautiful piece now.
I had a great time doing it.
Yeah, and I know you also saved my life with my other one that broke in half. So, I mean, you're just kind of, in my opinion, you're the guy to go to for really solid fixes on instruments, but also the guy who can bring that love back out of your instrument. And I think that's worth more than money, in my opinion.
It's so important to me.
Yeah.
It really is.
And you're a great musician too, so it's like
I'm okay.
it's like, who else better to trust with it than somebody that knows what you're really trying to get out of your instrument?
It does.
It's somebody who plays one, right?
And usually I'm about I'm always 2 weeks out backlog.
Right.
Sometimes as much as 4 or 5 weeks. But for a gigging working musician,
Yep.
if something goes wrong, I'll 100% of the time actually, I'll push something else out of the way to get that gigging musician their guitar back in their arms.
Yeah, especially when they slide you that extra $250, right?
They don't even have to do that. Just happy to get the stuff playing again.
Well, Ben, man, this has been a super pleasure to be in the lab. To see the magic box was kind of like my big goal, and to see some of these legacy pieces that you do, it's always a treat to see online, and I'm super happy for you. And again, you're my guy, and I know Adrian's probably gonna throw you some stuff. My bass player's already talking about it. So I rep you as much as possible. That's why I wanted to come on and give you an interview, because I wanted to just push you out there more. And hopefully you'll be 6 months backlogged. And, and in order to get you to come out and tech something, they'll have to pay you a lot of money to come out. But
well, maybe I'll quit my day job, huh?
There you go.
Yeah, if the easiest way to get a hold of me is on Facebook, Stringwise Repair Company.
Okay, great.
Just hit me up on the messenger.
Yep.
And give me a brief synopsis of kind of what you got going on, and we'll go
with a couple pictures, possibly.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
All right, Ben.
Cool, man.
Man, it's always a pleasure, man. Always
nice
a pleasure.
seeing you
Yeah.
again.
Well, this has been a great interview. Stay tuned and stay dialed in.